What's up? So nobody's fishing right now, or I guess a few people are, but I know the California Open for me canceled. Probably not going to fish it. It's in July now, so I'll probably just go to the U.S. Open. But even then, right now we're starting to get ice off up north, and I'd like to hit some smallie waters. Probably not going to happen for a little while, but while I'm inside, I've been staring at some new lures that I've got, and I figured I'd talk about one of them. And I think I mentioned that I would be doing this before, and today I want to talk about this guy. This is the Missiles. Maybe if I can get this in the camera. Missiles Ike micro jigs. And I gotta tell you, I mean, the only thing equivalent I've seen, I mean, I know there's a couple out there, but Kitex, and I'm all about small baits for the most part. I don't know, there's something about it. I just had that innate feeling that I'm doing something different, that I have something that's looks more natural. So naturally, when I saw this, for the price, 2 for 1, pretty much over Kitex, or maybe you can get Kitex for a little cheaper, but I mean, cheaper, but you're only getting one. In this, you get 2 in a pack, and they have the weed guard that you can put in there. I know some people have complained about that. That's the only thing, is it's a little sloppy, but it's intended to be that way. So when you put that weed guard in the head, see how it comes with it comes with a hole. There's a hole there. You put the weed guard. Yeah, there. Okay, you see that hole? So this weed guard here, which I don't even know if I better find a way to like keep track of them. Yeah, there's one. I don't really anticipating, especially early in the season, all the smallmouth lakes that I go to, that I'll be utilizing it. There's the weed guard. I end up cutting it down anyway. Granted, some people, you might snag up a little bit more, but when you put this thing in, see if I can even get it in there. Oh yeah, just slides are in there. It's a little, and you can't just put this in and start casting. It'll come out. So, and you're supposed to. I believe John Cruz even has, or not John Cruz. Yeah, it's John Cruz. He owns Missile Baits anyway. I think that's right. Yeah. So on one of the videos that I've seen when he's talking about this, he's like, yeah, you put a little super glue in there, just a little bit, and it holds it in there. I mean, I would still go like I do with all my jigs, and I'd cut that off. Or the good thing about this is, since it comes like this, you can actually split this in half and have like more of a single strander, which is probably what I'll do, and then cut it. Really, they come in some really good colors. This one is what is it, PB&J? Yeah, PB&J, which is Dynamite Ozark Lake. And in the north, usually I like a little bit of orange in the north. It seems like the crawdads, when they start first coming out, have a little more orange to them, but this can't go wrong with that. But this is a 16th ounce. This one right here has a weird. You can see how weird that head is. You see, when they pour tungsten, they can't really pour it with the hook in there, otherwise they'll melt the hook. So they have to pour it in two. I believe they pour it in 2 sides, and then they kind of fuse it together around the hook, and then they, powder coat it. So, and this also has a rubber skirt band, which I mean, I can go either way on that. Over time, those tend to deteriorate, but I mean, hopefully you're using this, and it's not just sitting in a tackle box for a year. But it is securely hooked on there. It is secure, so the hook itself has a little, that lead head, or not lead head, tungsten head, has a place for the band to hold the skirt. And then it has this keeper. Now, the thing about what I not necessarily like or don't like, but this keeper here, it's around it, which it should be good for most. Let's see if it focuses on there. Right. It's good for most plastics, I would admit, I mean, so far. But the only thing I could see is maybe the Z-Man products might not work so good. You might want a wire keeper instead. So that's kind of my only complaint. I would throw a lot of Z-Man product. I like their little craw and the little TRDs on there. But I could see this, being effective just throwing, those little 3-inch Cincos or something. That's the kind of trailers that I'm looking at on this, or a little net bait crawdad. So this little keeper is actually not bad. The one thing that I have questions about, that I'm wondering, and I'll have to throw this a lot and see how that performs, is how close that is to the bend of the hook. I don't know if that will affect anything. Maybe not for the smallmouth, but if you do hook into a decent largemouth, it might. We'll find out, because I'm going to be throwing these quite a bit, especially here coming up in the spring. And some of these, there's a couple of urban lakes that I like to go to, and typically good jig bites, and they're highly pressured. So I'm gonna check these out. They got a couple of wood laydowns, some beaver huts, and usually do pretty good throwing regular jigs. So I'd be interested to see what this guy does. But these come in, I can't remember how many colors, but various the good color. I got PB&J, some dill pinnacle here, and they have like a shad looking more color, and then black and blue, and I think they even have solid black, which I'm starting to get more partial to that. Just something different. But 16th, 8th ounce, and 1/8 ounce, and I think they might have one other size, but you start with the 1/8 ounce. That's I feel confident with. If I have to downsize to the 16th, I think I can handle that well. I'm 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pound test. I mean, just that's what I anticipate throwing that on. I said little tiny trailers. You can even throw like a little easy shaker or some other Kitech stuff, little ones. Like even they have the what is that? Yeah, that is like an easy shaker. It's a real small worm. You can throw something like that. You can even cut. It's I was thinking, if you take an old robo worm, it's the straight up robo worm, cut that tail off and put it on there. Just a small trailer. I think that'd be dynamite. But anyway, missile baits, micro Ike jig, and he's got the football one. Haven't got that yet, but that'll be my next deal, because I love throwing a football jig. In fact, most of my jig fishing is done with a football jig. I think just a good all around jig. I think I could feel a little bit better. So I tend to, since they can't buy everything in the world, I tend to buy one thing that I think I can do well in multiple situations. Same with my fishing rods. I try to keep, at least on the spinning rod side, I have a couple variations, but I try to keep them within a certain parameter. That way I can utilize, if somehow one breaks, I can grab another one, and it might not be the best in that situation, but it is a good complement. So that's how I typically roll. So for me, like a football head jig, I'll throw that anywhere. I'll flip it, or I'll even run it as a swim jig. Why not? Instead of just buying a bunch of jigs, I know it's probably not the most ideal way to do it, but to save money or whatnot, that's how I do it. And I do have a couple particular swim jigs, but if I have to, I like the football jig. I just like it, and maybe it's not the best way, but like I said, I get things that I can utilize in multiple situations, because I can't afford to buy one of everything or multiples of everything. When I get to that point, yeah, I'll get more specific. But I actually like the way my rod's set up. I know I'm going off on a different tangent, but some of my casting rods too are the same way. Have only a couple different variations, unless we go into real specific, like flipping or something like that. Then I'll go specific. On my spinning rods, they're all 6'8" to 6'11", 10, and medium light to medium. I don't have anything else. Fast action. That's what I feel confident throwing almost 95% of things with when I throw with a spinning rod. My bait caster, I have a lot of them that are 6'10" to 7 foot, or I have a number of 6'10" rods that are from a medium light to a medium, extra fast action, because I throw jerk baits, even crankbaits on them. I know people look weird at that, but I like to feel things, and I will tailor that to the way I fight the fish. And I don't lose that many fish on jerk baits, hardly ever anymore, and cranks. So I don't always buy this whole fiberglass thing. If you can't handle it, then use a fiberglass. But I like my rods the way that is. And then I go to the 7, foot medium heavy for all my other stuff, and then I have some big swim bait rods, and I use those for flipping and throwing anywhere from a 6-inch like Huddleston to, you know, we were talking about the 10-12-inch baits. So I got a couple of those rods, but I don't have a myriad of rods. I try to keep as much similar as possible just in case I break or lose one or something happens. Anyway, missile mini jig. Like and subscribe, please. And well, I'll talk about this in another video, but right now, so if we hit a certain subscribership, I'm gonna set it at 1,000 right now. I have 3 lakes that I'm willing to do. One in the Midwest, I'll say Table Rock or Lake of the Ozark. I'm gonna go Table Rock. Let's go Table Rock. Lake Powell or Lake Havasu. I would say one up north, but I don't know if we get that goal. If we get that goal before winter, this next winter, I might go to Fort Peck, which would be if somebody picks it. So here's what I'm gonna do when you hit that 1,000 mark. I'll put a video out, and whoever comments on that, likes and comments a certain thing, and you pick the lake you want to go to, and all you got, I don't know what's going on, people getting crazy out there. Anyway, coronavirus. You pick one of those lakes, whatever's closest to you. You get there, and pretty much no, you don't have to pay for gas. You don't have to do anything. Go fishing with me on one of these lakes that I know, and we'll have a good time. So you don't even have to bring rods and reels if you want. Just show up. So, like I said, Table Rock, Lake Powell, which if you pick that, just somehow make it a trip. That'll be a blast. I don't even care what time of year. We can do that anytime. And I'll take you. I know that lake like the back of my hand. It's amazing, and you'll never forget it. But anyway, we hit that. I'll set something up. We'll randomly select somebody, and you pick which one you want to go to, like Havasu, Powell, Table Rock, or if the time permits, up north. There's a great lake up there, which you'll get. It's probably the best smallmouth lake in the country, or at least top 3. But we'll see. We'll get there. So the first thing is to get to 1,000, and then we'll figure it out. And then, like I said, all you gotta do is pay to get there. Everything else is Everything else, when you get there, I'll pay for the boat gas. You can use my rods and reels. We can just go fishing for fun. Anyway, like, subscribe. Talk to you later.